Hey folks, Ben here. You right about there. Vintage is the brand, Icon Series is the series, and V6 is the model. It looks like a Strat. Well, it is S-shaped guitar. We'll call it with that. Found some zip ties. Sure. Take 3 on this. All right. So, yeah, needs a restring because it's been a year. So, first thing you need to do is remove the strings. La la la. Hope everyone's doing well. Do we actually sit through the whole de-stringing, or do we just talk for a minute here while he does some winds, and then, you know, how the frets look? I don't know. I haven't looked yet. For those that are wondering, this is one of those factory beat the hell series guitars. Yeah. The relicking looks okay, like on camera or from like 20 feet away, but you get up close, you can tell she's fake. Fake. All right, those are all loose. That's what I'm looking for. Well, that's 2 right there. Oh, 2 for 1. Again. All right, so what I'm gonna do is get these strings off here. Come on. How do the frets look? I think use a little something, something. All right. So. I don't think it needs a setup. I briefly hung this thing around my neck and played on it a bit. It seemed to play all right, but well, I should have checked that before I took the strings off. Neck relief. You know. Oh well. For those who don't know, I snagged this, I don't know, a couple years ago now, I guess? I don't know. There's one. That's all of them. The nice thing about the factory beat to hell finish is if you scratch on it, a fella doesn't know. Just saying. There we go. All right. So I suppose bring in a little. I can't zoom. All right. Do we go right down to the basics? 1,400. Is that a 150? I don't think we need a 150. 180. All right, let's start with a 180. Yeah, I only use the 150 when they're really grimy. You know. So, shouldn't you be using a fret guard thing? Well, if I'm leaning this perpendicular to the frets, it's always gliding on 2 or more frets at once. Now if I do it this way, yes, and we do have a fret guard. Actually, in theory, there's 2 of them around here. Where they be, nobody knows. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to do this for about a day and a half. So I'm going to pause the video here while I go up through the grits. So, all right? I'll be back. Don't worry. You won't even miss me because of this playing like scene change thing. Transitional even. It's a piece of disc cloth, microfiber, micro mesh wheel disc. I don't know. Buy them at the Napa. This is a 3,000 grit we're going up to. I'm not like Charles 75N that goes up to like 15,000. I don't know what he does exactly, but he's got the smoothest frets of them all, apparently. I don't even know why I'm polishing these frets. They're just there for show. I don't know anybody myself that actually uses any of these frets way down here. This is not quite fitting in there anymore between the... There we go. This one's a narrower. Yes, and I put tape on either side to avoid scratches into the fretboard. Once, yeah, look at that. Already upside down soaking the dabber, bingo dabber thing. I don't know. It's got a slight bend in it. Well, now it's got less of a slight bend in it. Use the gritty side, Ben. I was like, wow, that's sliding across real easy. There we go. All right. Now the frets are all polished up. Back is sore. Oh, I'm cramped over for, I don't know, day and a half doing that. So let's soak in the fretboard. Just in time for winter. Everything dries out, depending on where you are in the world. You're like, I live in Jamaica. Even the winters are still warm. Easy. I'm in Canada, all right? Excuse me. We've been waking up to frost for the last week or two. Then again, just thinking, I think it's what, November 20th as I'm shooting this. Hard to get in between here, so you're just trying to slop it in there, and then I get in there with a paper towel to really push it in the corners. There. All right. Put that from whence it came. I usually look around here because I usually got paper towels in here cleaning my glasses. Studio's behind the wall there, and half time get set up for a podcast and realize, oh, my glasses are dirty. So usually use the old ones to clean fretboards. Don't need a hole. There we go. That's more than enough. All right, and we just wipe up the excess. Push it all into the corners. And this is to avoid the wood splitting and cracking with extreme dryness. Don't you run a humidifier? Not really. I could, but my guitars are kind of used to it. It's weird that way, folks. You know, guitars, when they come to Canada, it's like they realize they're Canadian and they're going to see 4 seasons guaranteed, and they just get used to it. It's like, I know some people that are all constantly, twisting on truss rods and setup and oh, guitar won't hold. Ooh, look at that. Moan Factor 9000. All right. All right. Excuse me. Now, we'll use the clean part of the... actually, no, we're going to use microfiber. We got it. This is the time where you clean out all the schmutz that gets between the pickups themselves. I'm not spending a lot of time... Oh, wait. There we go. I'm not spending a lot of time cleaning the bridge because it's relic, which I think they just dipped it. They just stuck it in their glass of Coca-Cola during lunch hour instead of ice cubes. So yeah, I agree, it does need more decals, but where yet? That's the question. Maybe I don't know, maybe one up here. So anywho's and hasn't. String of choice, I guess. Seems like I'm missing some strings. We're gonna go with Where is my 9 through 46s? Did I use them all already? Oh, no, they just... Oh, I see what happened here. There's another pack of strings. I just lost like 50 bucks in strings. Oh, that's right. I had an issue earlier. Stuff down there. I don't know. Anyways, we do have a pack of 9 through 46. I gotta order more strings again. Damn. All right, what are these? Oh, 10 through 46. What are they doing here? It's 10s. All right. So, yeah. Now, in theory, Wilkinson, Trev to his friends, Mr. Wilkinson to his employees. See what I did there? Had this great idea for these offset. You can't see nothing, but they offset the holes here to match up the saddles. But guess what? They don't. So, like, here, hang on. I'll show you. All right. So, can we get the light more over the top? Now, look, you can just see. All right, where's my pointing implement? We're going to use a random screw. All right. Now, see here, you can see through. Oh, yeah, but look here. There's like no overlap. See, there, go straight on. There's nothing there. Just barely. So it's a hassle factor 9,000 to restring this thing. Oh, that's great. No, it isn't. All right. So I'm going to take it in the ass for 15 minutes while I shove strings through orifices. Stand by. They're in. So yeah, I forgot. You actually, to string it through, you hold it up like this. In plain position, sure. And then you actually have to push back on the saddles to get through. Yeah. Anyways, we're there. All right, so you want to make sure it's fully seated. No, this doesn't have string tree or treeza, but it's got the stagger tuners, which means some are shorter than the others. So, yeah, but there. How do you know how much slack to leave? Well, you know what? You start restringing guitars, and about 35 years later, you'll kind of know how much slack is needed. And if I didn't mention already, we're going with 9 through 42s, as Leo Fender intended. How many winds do you have? 2, 3? No, I go for a wind and a half to 2. More than enough for me. Which is about like that. I don't know. See? Oh yeah, I forgot these have 2 sets of holes too. Do you go through the upper or the lower? I guess. I should have went through the lower. Alright, well this one's going to be about 3 winds because I'm an idiot for just talking like that. No, 2.5. Alright, sure. Alright. Let's go through lower. I really don't know why there's 2 sets of holes. I suppose I could look it up, or someone can tell me in the comments section. I don't get it. And I'm more or less just snugging these up. I'm not even going close to pitch. Swear, greatest invention back in the day, right? String winders. See that? You know. Oh, for those who miss eyes. Right, now this one, bottom holes are like just above the bushing. So, muzzle. They have them. All right, easy. Maybe about that. A little more. There we go. G-string. Nobody's ever had a problem with G-string in their life, right? Said nobody ever. Excuse me. I just realized I'm slowly belching into a microphone. Sure. like that. So for those who aren't familiar with these are made, I don't know, China, India, not India, Indonesia, I don't know. They're made over in hot, sweaty countries, which is what I call most of the Orient. Excuse me, I don't know why, but I do. Indonesia seems hot and sweaty, I'm sorry. China not as much, but Indo for sure. And seems like all the saddles were juked over just a touch. But yeah, actually, say on here. Nope. Anyways, well, what I was going to say, they're designed in the UK. And I want to say Wilkinson actually has some involvement with the company. It's got all Wilkinson hardware on it, but I don't know. If the propagandized correctly, I believe that's what the deal is. Now, when I hold, I not that you can see, I'm pulling up on the string with my middle fingers and pushing down on the string against the headstock to keep the winds nice and low on the tuner. Excuse me. And then just letting the string glide underneath. That way I'm keeping some tension on it. Sure. All right. What are we doing on time? Oh, doing great. There we go. What are you using snark for? They're not that accurate. Good enough for the girls we date. And I think this is a floating bridge, so as we bring up, and yes, you're like, oh, that's past pitch. Yeah, sometimes I'll even do that. I'll go past pitch, so it's like pre-stretching. Come on, you can do it. Alright, so you can't really stretch the string. Martin, you can't stretch them. That's why you sent me a string stretcher and not a string stretcher. Which, how does a fellow lose it? It never leaves the workbench. Oh, there it is right there. I think you should call it the string sita. There. Now, fun fact, folks. 3S, fun fact, folks. Once you do a setup on a guitar, the only adjustment you would ever do during restringing is a truss rod adjustment. Because that's wood, and it can move. This doesn't move. Wait, you can't see that. This don't move. Like, once your intonation's done, unless you're changing string gauge, you should never need to... check or set your intonation again. Once it's set, it's set. So I want to get all the strings to pitch before double checking the intonation, and we'll also check the neck relief because, you know, it is that time of year. But then again, I guess the neck relief is fine because I set this up about a year ago. So, you know, same atmospheric conditions, as it were. Oh, you really seeded. See, I almost said stretched there. Can't say it. All right. Forgot floating bridge. Getting there. Meanwhile, I know Floyd Rosiers are like, tune from the middle out! Alright. So, perfect. Yep. You're supposed to check in the playing position. Oh. I've done it this way and it's always worked for me. Yep. Perfect. There we go. All right, neck relief. We like to see about 5 to 7 thousandths of an inch to check it. I know I've mentioned in other videos, but hey, this could be someone's first video, so relax, all right? So we're going to put a capo on the first fret. You are going to put this in the playing position. Bing. All right, we're going to push down the body joint, which on this particular guitar is about the 17th fret. Sorry if I'm muting the microphone. Got our Mr. Feely gauges. This one's set to 5. Just going to check her. Yeah, that's got too much. Too much relief. All right, well, I'll be dipped. All right, let's. It can't be 16. Somewhere in between. All right. But you know what? I don't care exactly what it is. I like 5. So we're just gonna give this a slight tweak. I assume it's going to be a 4 mil because it's made overseas. Those are Imperial. Survey says. Oh, look at that, 4 mil. All right, now when adjusting a truss rod, it needs to be tightened, but still, always back off first. I don't know why, because sometimes it could crack worse than your back on a cold, damp morning. Yep, move fine that way, so there we go. I'm not giving it a whole lot. As I recall, this is a very active truck. Come on, release the hounds. There we go. So we did just about 1/8 of an inch. Right. A little more tweakage. Happens every video. Sorry. There we go. All right. What was it? Oh yeah. Yeah, I realized I took the capo off last time and I'm leaving it on this time. Sue me. Excuse me. All right. Let's be jerks about it. Pop out the G and the D strings to give us a little more room. There we go. I like when the strings will fit in the slot of the adjoining string, so they stay out of my way. There. Excuse me. I'm going to say that's just touch, so that's probably 6. You know what? To quote a thing from earlier, good enough for the girls we date. So there we go. She's all set up. All we got to do now is trim the strings, which I always do last. Why? Murphy's Law. So if you cut them early, you're going to have to take the strings off for some reason. Happens every time. Alright, so there we go. I've been Ben. You've been you. This has been restring / setup check, I guess. Sure. On the vintage Icon Series V6, although I prefer a V8. We should have had a V8. Lean. Be good to each other. If you haven't already, please subscribe. Peace.